control, down. Manual override control, backward. Throttle, cut off. Flaps control, up. Fuel tank selector, L or R. AC and bleed, off down. Pressure mode switch, auto. Dump switch, guarded. Hot airflow distributor, as desired. Alternate static selector, push.
Those are good. You want to check those look okay?
Push.
They all look fine, and the bus tie is fine. Extinguisher's good.
Alright.
Lights, yaw dampers off, turn it on later. Inertial separator is good. And toga's pressed. Runway 13, just verify.
Executive ground, TBM 8 Charlie Deltas at Hendrickson Jet Center. Information Hotel, like pick by FR 2, Waco.
TBM 408 Delta Hotel Executive Tower on departure. Proceed direct Alexi, runway 13, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 13 on departure, direct Alexi. 8 Delta Hotel, thanks.
Alright. TBM 8 Charlie Delta Executive ground clearance available, advising ready.
Runway looks good your side, and my side
Runway 8 Charlie
looks
Delta,
okay.
you're cleared to the Waco Airport via radar vectors DART, Victor 17, Waco
Messages.
VOR, direct. On departure, climb maintain 3,000. Expect 7,000, 10 minutes out to departure. Departure frequency on 127.22, squawk 7350.
Alright, we'll do a rolling run up to 40% and look at our instruments. Lead high is on, makes sense. CAS is fine. Instruments are alive. Up is
TBM 8 Charlie Delta, read back correct.
up on the governor. Alright, here we go. 90%. For 85, let's fly under those birds.
Citation 827 Sierra Lima, executive
Positive
ground,
rate.
you're cleared to the Oakland Airport
More
via
runway
the
available,
Mucky
gears
2
coming up.
departure. Mucky transition as filed. On departure, climb maintain 3,000. Expect flight level 400, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency on 125.32, squawk
Flaps up,
2452,
yaw
stand by
damper
for
on.
reback.
We're going
TBM 8
to
Delta Hotel,
Direct Alexi.
in your left turn, direct Alexi, contact departure, have a good day.
Contact departure in our left turn, direct Alexi. 8 Delta Hotel. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
220.
flight level 220-408 Delta Hotel.
Thanks. Sorry.
Break Delta Hotel, climb and maintain flight level 230.
230, 8 Delta Hotel.
We'll get you there eventually.
Thanks a lot.
A little bit of ice.
United 443,
Starting at
contact
18.
Houston Center 128.07.
2807, United 443.
ATC's trying to climb us up and get us out of this. We're out of it right now, really. It was only from 18 to flight level 200. But we might see a little bit more up higher. It's hard to tell. That next layer is pretty high up. We have a database mismatch. I tried to update the nav data on here, and something wrong with that. Keeps wanting me to restart. So we just took off anyway, and unfortunately what that means is that I had a crosstalk error, which means you can't just load the flight plan in the middle and have it work
Break Delta
everywhere.
Hotel, climb and maintain flight level 240.
240, 8 Delta Hotel.
That's my co-pilot, Krista. 240 is confirmed, and the scoreboard looks good still. That is climbing probably a little too slow for ice, but it was minor ice. I'll start working that climb speed
Break
up.
Delta Hotel, climb and maintain flight level 310.
310, 8 Delta Hotel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to turn off the separator for a little bit. On there so that we can get cooler temperatures on the ITT. A little more power. Our climb up to another 10,000 feet up to 310. As the separator slowly moves and lets more air in, that ITT is coming down. Our torque will come up. You can feel it vibrate when it fully opened. And it ended up, the power was right at that white tick on the outside of the scale up there on the torque, so that's good. We'll increase our climb rate. And most of the ice is gone now.
JetBlue 1094, contact you, center 132.77.
3277, JetBlue 1094. Good afternoon.
All right, Delta Hotel, contact you, center 132.77.
132.77, 408 Delta Hotel. See ya.
All right, we're at cruise now, and we got a heck of a tailwind, 86 knots. Almost getting 400 knots over the ground there. So 393, sublight chop, so fortunately the video is going to be a little bouncy. But we've completed the cruise checklist, got our power set, double checked our pressurization, fuel over destination, and kinds of stuff that we need to regularly check. Beyond that, we're just monitoring our progress. A little bit of rain off to the right of our course. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Then it looks like clear sailing after that. And we're just direct Atlanta right now. Trying to run the JDM app on my Mac. See what database update I attempted because something went wrong. But it's not launching, so I think I'm just going to restart it and try again.
Fort Worth Center, Spirit Wings 466, level 3900.
And here's a quick video of the cabin back there. We got the two boys reading books, iPads. We have the dog down there in the carrier. He's probably not enjoying himself too much, but
Center
he does
Hawker
fine.
8100, flight level 380 smooth.
And then Krista and I up front.
Houston, Center Roger.
Center 7.
2907,
Krista went
40
back for snack service time.
And that was 2907 for Envoy 4160.
Showing off the snacks. And Mommy gets the dog out, giving him a little bit of time. Hey, buddy. That's Bandit. We tried to find an aviation name for him, and I started reading stuff off the web.
.com 2700.
And the first time I said that word, he reacted immediately, and he didn't react to any other aviation terms, so that was his name when we adopted him. Oh, we were so close to 400 knots.
Houston Center, good afternoon.
We're at 399 for a second there. We just need to pedal a little harder. Oh, there's 399. 90 knots on the tail. That's one of the nice things about towards the winter time when the jet stream comes down towards Texas.
November 6 Bravo Whiskey, have an arrival.
As we lighten up, our true airspeed will go up from 308 just a little bit,
November 6 Bravo Whiskey,
maybe 311, 312.
Lima Sierra uniform for the
and if that happens quickly enough, we'll hit 400 knots.
Uniform.
Oh, there's 400 knots.
Climb maintain flight level 320.
We just barely touched it.
2700.
Good afternoon, shuttle 6291, flight level 340.
We hit enough turbulence or something that gave us a little boost.
Okay, shuttle 6291,
310 true,
Houston,
so we are increasing that just a hair.
Center
I think
Frontier
this
7,
is only the
request
second time I've ever
Frontier flight
400
climb and
knots. I
maintain
think
flight
the
level
last time it
340, have your
was
request.
heading to Virginia from
340,
Texas.
Frontier 70, thanks.
It was super bumpy. It was one of the toughest landings I ever did, and I was pretty new to this plane at that time.
390, 400, 390, 400.
Houston Center, Jody,
We're just riding the waves
flight
here.
level 260.
Jody 51, Houston Center, roger.
So we could just start descending. We could get 400 the whole time.
Let's do it.
I'm sure ATC won't care.
So 2,000 feet, or I'll have to give you a reroute because
Right, so I thought we'd show you guys the sunshades that we bought for the TBM. They're kind of a custom fit. You can see right now Krista is on the sunny side, and the glare on the iPad's pretty bad. She's using the, what is it, rosin sun visors to try to help. They're pretty good. But go ahead, Krista, put the sunshade in there. It's a pretty good difference. It makes the iPad a good bit readable. We'll see how well it comes out on camera. It's essentially like a tinted panel. It's got a rubber edge. It just sits in there with a friction fit.
American 1480.
There's intentionally a lot of gaps around it so that the airflow can get on both sides of the jet shades. That's what they are. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I would say the glare is cut down by about a half. It doesn't show up on camera too well because we're getting a big reflection. If it's still not enough, you can always put the shade back down, but...
How it looks with double layer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's noticeably better. Anyway, that's been nice. It also cuts down the heat a good bit too.
Jake 1-1, we'd like to continue to Meridian. Flight plan as filed.
Jake 1-1, roger.
We just heard somebody, a twin engine, say he lost an engine. Heard an emergency going to Meridian. And I think Meridian's right up in front of us here. Let's see. Then 1-1 was his call sign. Said he had 4 people on board.
Jake 1-1, descend positive discretion, maintain level 240.
Positive discretion 240, Jake 1-1.
Jake 1-1. Saw Misfit 1. I think that's it.
Jake 1-1, descend positive discretion, maintain flight level 200.
Positive discretion 200, Jake 1-1.
So he must not be ADSB out.
And Jake 1-1, did you need any assistance at Meridian?
Jake 1-1, just fire coverage on the field.
Jake 1-1, roger.
American 517, good day.
It was very calm when he came on. We missed the
Envoy
initial
3750,
call, but
contact
he
NAM Center
came on and just very calmly said, I'd like to declare an emergency, 4 souls.
42, Envoy 3757, good day.
Went from there.
Yeah, it's a good sign that he's handling it. We actually used to stop at Meridian a lot for this very trip. When we were in the Cirrus, we would use that for a fuel stop. It's a nice place, good facilities, not far from the Naval Air Station out here. Forget what that one's called. Oh, Meridian Naval Air, imagine that.
All aircraft has the information. Houston Center has Roger 101 until
we were leaving Meridian when we had a fuel issue. We saw fuel coming out of the cap in one of the wings, remember that? And we talked to them that we might want to return right away back to the field.
Yeah, that might have been Meridian. Yeah, we saw it streaming out the back of the cap, and we started to turn back, and then I thought about it for a second and realized they had just topped us off and that we were probably over full.
It was summer too, as I recall.
Yeah, that's right. So the fuel was expanding in the heat, and
Delta
ended up telling them that we just wanted to orbit for a minute,
traffic.
and sure enough, within about
10 degrees
2
right
minutes,
for Delta 976.
it stopped streaming out, and it was just over full. And talking to my instructor later, he said that can certainly happen. Generally advise you to tell the fueler not to fill it up past there's a mark inside there that you can use as a reference. I honestly usually don't worry about that too much because I get them pull it right before we go, and hopefully the fuel doesn't warm up too much before we get going and start using it, but it can happen. Well, I don't see a target for him. I was hoping we would find him. We got a nice little rainbow halo down there from our shadow off the sun. Krista, do you know what those are called? It's a circular rainbow right around where our shadow is falling on the tops of the cloud.
I know I've heard it before, but I'm not calling it to mind. All I can think is sundogs.
Yeah, that was all I could think too. I think that's a different thing. That'd be like an angel's halo or something. I don't know. Remember what it is, but
Jake 1-1 clear.
So it's pretty faint.
Field.
Oh, that's Jake 1-1. At Key Field, that's Meridian.
Jake 1-1 clear direct destination.
Jake 1-1, direct destination.
Well, it's a good time for us to think about what we would do with an engine out issue. We don't have 2 engines, so our day would be much worse than his, but first thing I would do, and I try to keep my head in the game by always knowing this anyway, but I would glance down at the glide rings here. You can see it's this light blue circle. It's misshapen because it's taking winds aloft and terrain into account. And we're up at 31,000 feet, so we could glide for a long time with the prop in feather. And to put it in feather, we'd bring it back here, this control back here, and bring it over. You can see it, this is the feather side. Bring it over here, and if the engine's not working, we'd be shutting it down. But we'd find a nearby decent-sized field. But if you look, Meridian, I was talking about how much I like it, but it's the edge of our glide range right now because we'd be turning back,
976, I'll need you on the settings
into the
for
wind.
the next about 7
So
minutes
that's
for traffic.
no good for us, really. I'd rather have something closer.
Copy.
I tend to look for something kind of not too far to the edge, and ideally one that's got multiple runways.
Center Center, Jake
as bigger runways as possible.
3104200.
Tuscaloosa would be promising here.
Jake 11, roger.
Let's see. Yeah, they got almost 90 runways to 90 degrees to each other, which would be great.
2 o'clock in,
so that's where we would go. And the idea would be to have enough altitude when we get there that we would orbit. And roughly every half of a circle of a turn we do, we'd lose about 1,000 feet. But we would judge that in real time. We'd start trying to do some of the basic math. Let's say we were trying to land in Tuscaloosa here. Maybe we were going to use 2-2. The idea would be to orbit right around here, kind of through the middle of 2-2. And the nice thing there with this other runway is we had trouble and we timed it wrong. We'd have 3-0 as an option here. But the goal would be to basically be right around here, 1,000 feet AGL, not MSL, and use up that last 1,000 feet in that 180 degree turn. And we have to put the gear down. That's going to drag us down a little bit, but we got to add flaps and that's going to lift us up. And we'll be making sure we aim to land long and not short, because I'd rather come off this end rolling slowly than go in this end in the dirt flying fast. Jake 11 left the frequency a little bit ago.
1309, contact Memphis Center, 128.27.
He still sounded calm, so it was good.
12827, American 1309.
Hopefully he'll
And Center, get up here and be careful.
a good end to his day.
Sierra 4511, land Center low.
And we're making progress, less than an hour to go. We might start downhill in roughly 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, depending. They like to bring it down a little earlier than what I planned for my VNAV. And we lost a little of our tailwind. Now we're down to 386, but I will take it. It's great. Down to 72 knots of tailwind.
Center to 2404-180 for 230.
Finally got past the undercast.
2404, land the center, climb maintain, flight 280.
Well, 280, that's 2404.
This should be pretty at our destination in South Carolina. Oh gosh. Well, our boy's being silly in the back. I guess that's some Fortnite dance. Beyond me. Or football celebrations, I don't know. Been playing nicely.
Atlanta Frontier Flight 2551.
And enjoying books and games together. And now showing off.
214 Golf, okay.
Alright, we're nearing Atlanta now. You can maybe see the buildings just above the circle rainbow down there. And that means we have just started on the arrival, well, we're about to. When we hit the VOR right over the airport here, we will have started the unarmed Arm 6 arrival into Rock Hill. One of the things it has at the end is us going into up to the Charlotte VOR, which they'll just give us radar vectors instead. So that ought to shave a minute or two off our current estimated time of arrival. One of the things we do when we get close to starting the arrival is figure out our vertical nav. And so, Krista, you saw for one of the waypoints called unarmed, yeah, amazingly enough, unarmed. You saw expect at or above 7,000. So, as you can see here in blue, that 7,000, that's where we entered it. The white values around it, up above and below, are just what the system calculates will be at.
Even out to
but they're not ones that were actually part of our vertical, our explicit plan. Then that lower box says
is the right better one way or the other?
To reach unarmed at 5,000.
7,000.
Sorry, I'm trying to wait for some of the talking to die down, but we're about 13 minutes away to start at 3-degree descent, unarmed at 7,000.
Okay, requesting follow 320 Delta 972.
972, right.
Since we're flying,
level 320.
We're flying the flight plan from the PFD, but the MFD is the one that has the vertical nav profiling. What are we expecting to see, or what would the warning signs be if that's not actually going to take effect?
So, I haven't flown the G1000 like this before where the flight plan's not cross-syncing. I'm having to manually manage it over here because of this database thing. And there's no place over here to set those vertical altitude, renav altitudes, only over here. But the autopilot's listening to the PFD, so when this isn't syncing, could be that the full VNAV stuff isn't going to work with the autopilot. We
742 length on the rudder.
could just use manual vertical speed modes.
If you were to push VNAV right now, do you think it would give you some error indication?
It should just arm. Yeah, it's not arming, so that might tell us something right there. I mean, we're only 12 minutes away, so it should totally arm.
Remember 1 Delta Papa, descend and maintain.
That probably means it's not going to work through the normal automation.
Flight level 300,
and whenever
1 Delta Papa.
What do we do when the normal automation doesn't work?
Roll back to the previous level of automation.
Step it down to one simpler level, which in this case would be just vertical speed mode.
Delta 981, contact Jacksonville.
We'll still have the computations here, so we'll just follow it manually instead of getting the fully automated mode.
Yeah, that'll help us set our descent rate if we want to meet it at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just have to stay on top of it and keep tweaking it. As we go down, the winds aloft will change, therefore our ground speed changes.
Number 8 Delta Hotel, contact Atlanta Center on 120.42 today.
120.42. 408 Delta Hotel, see ya.
Frontier Flight 2551, contact Jackson.
I'll let you check in.
Takeoff comes in a second.
Delta 580 is 330, going to be a final for us, sir.
That was what I was showing, unless you wanted something else. That's what I was showing as your final.
That's okay, 33 works.
Atlanta down there.
Good afternoon, Atlanta Center, TBM 408 Delta Hotel, flight level 310.
408 Delta Hotel, Atlanta Center.
Let's see, what were we talking about?
We had talked about using, if we can't fly by this, using it in advisory mode.
That's right, so we'll have to stay on top of it because the vertical speed required right now is basically 2,000 feet per minute, but that's going to change because it's based on ground speed. It's attempting to really maintain this glide slope, this angle to the ground, so we'll just have to stay on top of it as our airspeed and ground speed changes. That's where we are for now.
Is that 1,000 feet per minute down?
All right, 24,000, or 24, flight level 240. You got that?
857, traffic 12 o'clock, 15 miles operation, time at 24.
So you got us doing vertical speed at
1,000. Delta 857.
I'll use back to power. Okay, can you give me
94 Mike Juliet 240.
descent checklist, please?
Yes.
94 Mike Juliet, Atlanta.
Altimeter setting.
Delta 1359, contact Atlanta 120.42.
The METAR we're getting from ADSB says 3002.
40 Juliet,
so I'm going to load that, stand by.
And clear direct to,
we'll get the AWAS in a little bit.
Re-wet.
The ice system.
Correct, re-wet.
ATI is set, that's fine.
Fuel gauges.
Fuel gauges look, as expected, and balanced, look good.
Then a passenger briefing.
We'll talk to the boys in just a minute, keep going.
Seats, belts, and harnesses.
Oh, we'll check that for them too.
Passenger table.
Check that. Looks good, stowed.
And landing field elevation.
Alright, we need to plug that in.
Olivia 252, climbing maintain bar 290.
Flight level 290.
System LFE, and that's KU's
0 Juliet, contact Atlanta 120.42.
2042, 482.
Checklist complete.
Alright,
Delta 857.
Okay, go ahead and put that arrow in 3001, I think it was.
Want me to go slowly?
No, you don't have to. We're not on a special VNAV thing. So we're going down to 5,000 here. This part of the flight happens really fast. We're getting close to the destination. We got this wind pushing us, so best is to descend at a good rate. I stepped it up to 2,500 feet per minute. Can comfortably do more than that. The cabin feet per minute rate is 730 right now. That's what you feel in your ears. And I can also reduce power to slow us down. Especially since we're getting into some bumps here. That'll help us get down a little sooner relative to the ground, which is what he wanted from us. So our plan's going to be to cross midfield. Krista, we're going to left turn, left downwind for runway 20. The wind's mostly down the runway at 7 knots. We've got at least twice the runway length that we need. More like 3 times. I haven't run the exact numbers. I'll take a look real fast here. Landing info running landing 20. That. and we'll need like 2,600 feet. We'll use a VREF or a V approach of 80 knots, 80, so I'll plug that in.
Approach, bearing 37533.
Bearing 37533, Greer approach. Good afternoon, Greer altimeter 3001, verify level at 8,000.
And the runway's
3001, 8,000 for
6,000 feet nowadays?
37533.
They made it 5,500, so yeah, more than twice what we need.
Departure Legion 2178 at...
Getting real close now.
November 859er, how do you read Greer?
Leveled off at 7,000 to avoid some traffic.
Yeah, I read you. Loud and clear.
Skyhawk nearby that's
Union AWAS is available.
1,000 below us.
We'll report airport inside.
We're about 15 minutes out. 2 passengers working. Still Saturday.
All right, gear speed checks, gear coming down.
Let's say again.
Looking for the traffic on final. Got him, he's real short final. The other guys should hopefully have us behind us. 3 green. Here comes some flaps. We're a little high for the pattern altitude, but we'll figure that out.
I adjusted the altimeter. We forgot to bump it up to 03.
Okay, yep. Other guy's a mile behind us, but I think we're faster. All right, we're at pattern altitude. Rock Hill traffic, 8 Delta Hotel, downwind, 20 Rock Hill. The other guy is pretty much stopping on the runway. Looks like he's about to roll off. I'll keep watching him. All right, Giffy, we got gear, inertial separator. We got some of our flaps. Here come the rest. Speed checks. That guy is pulling off. And yaw damper autopilot off was the last of Giffy. We can't go too far to the north because of the airspace.
At 47 Sierra 216 Tango Sierra is maneuvering in the north-west practice area.
Rock Hill, traffic 12 Fox, transitioning over midfield to left down 20 Rock Hill.
Rock Hill traffic, 8 Delta Hotel, base 20 Rock Hill.
0 at Delta, Rock Hill.
Stepped on him saying he was clear, but I see him on the ground clear. Don't see any traffic coming over on final.
Rock Hill, traffic 12
Clear
Fox,
this way.
120.
We got the other traffic in the downwind. All right, we're a little snug on the final, but it's okay. Rock Hill traffic, 8 Delta Hotel, turning final 20 Rock Hill.
Rock Hill traffic, Skyhawk 3899, Quebec taxi from Delta to Fly Carolina, Rock Hill.
All right, a little fast still, it's all right. Working it down. This prop will slow us down quick at a certain stage of pitch, which is right around there.
Rock Hill, traffic 12 Fox, left base, we'll stop 20 Rock Hill.
URF +8.
A little fast, start trimming it. Still have 3 green.
URF.
Rock Hill Unicom, Skyhawk 3899, Quebec, west a
airspeed. Stall.
Not bad. A little firm, but... Alright, getting on the reverse, down to 40 knots. We don't need much because we're... Lots of room here. Right.
Traffic 125,
Just in
final,
taxi
we'll
range.
stop 20
Never did full beta anyway. Speed off. Beta's off. Flaps are up. Alrighty, let's do the shutdown here.
Rock Hill, traffic 12 Fox, go low runway, taxi to the ramp, Rock Hill.
Park and brake, all lights off. Pilot Oxygen off, fuel select, autopilot off. The bleed is off, pressure is at 0. We'll not need to record fuel level. We've been flight idle for more than 2 minutes now. We're pretty close to it. AC switch off. Idle to full idle 15 seconds, so that'll be about 5 seconds after the minute.
Rockhill traffic arrow 4155 Golf.
3412 Fox.
45 left down 1 runway 20 Rockhill.
4112 Fox.
Off.
Hey, line service is over to your left. I'm going to try to have him marshal you in. You're going to be here for a week.
Just about. You want me to go follow him?
Battery voltage will power everything down just a minute. Got the chocks. All right, we're good.
Hi there.
And a fine daughter-in-law.
Good to see you. Those things are happy Thanksgiving. Those things are so fun to almost.
Yeah, we just shut down and family's here to greet us and help us load up in the car. So now it's just time to button up the airplane and go enjoy some Thanksgiving holiday. We'll see you guys on the next one.